Howdy, howdy, y'all. Glad to be here this week. Glad to be doing another video. Got a lot to talk about this week. Like I said last week, I did not watch Elimination Chamber because, like I said, there are going to be some major expenditures coming up, so I just didn't. It just wasn't in the budget to watch Elimination Chamber, and I decided to catch up on Walking Dead because I'd missed most of the season and watched the new episode that happened this week as well. And damn, that ending. Wow, that was an amazing ending to that episode. But, yeah, I spent the night watching Walking Dead, so missed the pay-per-view. I've got a lot of things to say regarding the fallout of the pay-per-view and what happened on Raw the next night, but I'll get to that in a minute. But, yeah, hope you all enjoyed the show. I heard it was... general consensus seems to be that it was a good show, so that's good. But coming out of Raw, though, I've got a lot of questions regarding the direction of Wrestlemania. But before I get into that, I did want to talk about one thing that happened with the Money in the Bank cash-in on Raw this weekend. I thought Del Rio and Ziggler had a very good match, which doesn't surprise me. It's nice to actually have a babyface champion that I actually give a shit about. And yeah, he's a little bit pandering to the Hispanic audience, but Del Rio, he's a lot more likable than Sheamus and Cena. And like I said, his face turn came across as a more natural development rather than just a, hey, be our billboard smiling shill of a champion. Here you go. I mean, they actually transitioned him from heel to face fairly well, I think. So it's nice to have that, and then Ziggler can make anybody he's working with look like $1 million. So you put a strong character and a great seller and a great heel in Dolph Ziggler, put them together, they have a great match. But one thing that really struck me is after the match when Biggie Langston knocked out Del Rio with his worst finisher of all time, where it looks like he's giving himself an inverted DDT. But that was used as a setup to Ziggler cashing in the Money in the Bank. And then Ricardo grabbed the briefcase and ran to the back and prevented the cash-in from taking place. And that was interesting because I didn't know that was a rule, that you actually had to have the briefcase and the contract with you at ringside in order to cash in the title shot. I was like, okay, I mean, that's a pretty good distinction to make. I didn't know you actually needed to have the briefcase with you, and you can't just walk out there and say, hey, I want my title shot now. But even though he's got a legal contract with his name on it, and I don't know why it should matter that the briefcase is at ringside, but whatever. Okay, I'll go with it. As long as they don't break that rule in the future, I'm willing to go along with it. I just thought that was interesting because I didn't know that was a rule. It's one of those things that just... I guess it never really came into question before, but if it has, I don't remember. But yeah, that was interesting. And then The Rock came out and unveiled the new WWE Championship title belt. First of all, I guess it really was that ugly that ugly plate that leaked a couple months ago. It's like, wow, it really was that title. That was going to be the new belt. Jeez. Yeah, it doesn't look good. It's not exactly that good looking of a belt. However, it is 10 times better than the spinner belt. When they did a zoom in on the spinner belt, it looked like, oh my god, it looked even worse than I ever thought it was. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad they're getting rid of that goddamn thing. And I'll take it. Okay, this ugly, bland thing, fine, I'll take it. At least it looks like a championship belt. It doesn't look like a goddamn toy that, some girl, some 8-year-old girl bedazzled and forced somebody to wear. No, it actually does look like a championship belt. I just wish they had modeled it more after... I mean, because the title belt that the general consensus seems to be that the Winged Eagle belt is the best one. That seems to be what everybody thinks. And I'm surprised they didn't more model it after that, because that's the look that everybody likes, so why not go back to it? You went back to the classic Intercontinental title look, and it's the best looking belt in the company. Because a lot of the new designs for their belts are awful. Like the Copper Penny tag team title belts are horrendous. The Divas title looks like Godzilla stomped on Rainbow Bright and a unicorn and just smeared the corpse over a slab and wore it as a belt. And that's the Divas Championship. It looks like fucking Rainbow Bright and unicorn blood and guts and smeared over a belt. Yeah, like I said, the best looking belts in the company are the World Heavyweight title and the IC title, and those are based off classic designs that are fairly old. So It's not like they're, it's not like it's the recent team of designers really hitting one out of the park either. So, but as far as this new belt goes, at least it looks like a championship belt. At least the spinner's gone, and because it is a step up, but not much of one. But I'll fucking take it. I'm just sorry that CM Punk had to carry that thing for over a year because it looks awful. It's like the spinner's gone. Yay! I'm so happy. I would have been happy if they'd just gone back to the undisputed title look. That one looked fine. I didn't have a problem with that one. But yeah, we got a new championship belt. No more spinner. Hooray! Even though I guess technically it hasn't spun in like 5 years, but whatever. Everybody called it the spinner anyway. But yeah, there's that. And I also wanted to talk about Wrestlemania coming up. Obviously, that's the next major pay-per-view for the WWE. It's, I guess, 6 or 7 weeks away, something along those lines. And, I'm going to reference a video that I made a couple months ago where I predicted the WrestleMania 29 card. I think that was around Christmas time where I made that video. And I thought, okay, now I think it's time I'll bring that in and try and compare it to what's going on now and see how much I got right. Quite honestly... okay, here was my card. Rock versus Cena for the WWE title, which we all knew was coming. And even that's not set in stone yet because, I guess it could end up being a three-way if CM Punk ends up getting shoved into it somehow, depending on what happens next week. But I doubt it. It's going to be Rock and Cena, too, I think, if I had to bet. I also predicted Taker versus Lesnar. I predicted Austin versus Punk, which that's not happening. I predicted, and admittedly, this one was a complete and utter guess because I didn't know what else to do with them. Triple H versus Dolph Ziggler, that's not happening. Randy Orton versus Sheamus, I predicted not as a world title match, but a regular match. I don't know if that's going to happen. Again, we don't know. Ryback versus Big Show for the world title was something I predicted. It's not. If it does happen, it won't be for the world title. Daniel Bryan and Kane. I said it was either going to be Daniel Bryan and Kane or Mysterio and Sin Cara as a partner versus partner thing. And the team that's not facing each other was going to face the Shield for the tag titles. And it looks like it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Kane, but I don't think the Shield is going to be in the tag title picture. So, one right, one wrong. I said there was going to be a tag team battle royal. I doubt that's going to happen. AJ Lee versus Caitlyn for the Divas title. I doubt that's going to happen. Just because they seem content on having AJ as a valet, which is fine. I just thought with as much as they put into her as a character, I thought they'd give her the Divas title at WrestleMania, which I guess they could still do that. I don't know, and that's kind of the point of this whole video, is that we're one pay-per-view away, and I still don't know what the hell the plan is for WrestleMania. I'm looking at there's so many guys on their roster, big guys, like that they've been promoting as fairly big attractions, that don't have anything to do with WrestleMania, and it kind of shocks me. For right now, we have got Rock and Cena, and even that's not set in stone. And we've got Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger for the World Heavyweight title, which makes me laugh, because I am not a big fan of Jack Swagger. I mean, this racist thing that he's doing is actually better than the fake Kurt Angle thing that he was doing, because that was always my joke with him. It was like fake Razor and fake Diesel all over again, where it's like, yeah, it's fake Kurt Angle. That's what Jack Swagger is. They just actually gave him a name. But yeah, I'm like, really? That's your world title match? He's only been back 2 weeks, and all of a sudden he's #1 contender for the world title? You can't convince me that was the plan, and that was something that they had planned 6 months in advance. That just reeks of something that they cooked up 2 weeks ago when Swagger came back. But yeah, I'm like, really? That's your world title match? Okay, and then Daniel Bryan and Kane, I think we can count on at this point. And then other than that, it's like, okay, what are the Shield going to be doing at WrestleMania? Are they going to be working another 6-man tag against Ryback? Or what are they going to do? What's Ryback going to be doing? I don't know. What's Big Show doing? I don't know. Mark Henry, they were building... Mark Henry, whether you like him or not, and personally I'm not like the biggest fan of the talent, but he's the most legit monster they have. And they've protected him fairly well as a monster. What's he going to be doing at WrestleMania? Is he going to be working with Khali? Is that what that was supposed to be? I hope not, because that's kind of boring. Khali's job at this point is basically just to be a barbell. He's basically just there for amazing feats of strength. And that's basically his whole job now. But, yeah. God, who else? Randy Orton. I have no idea what he's doing. He might be working with Sheamus. I don't know. Sheamus might be working with Wade Barrett. I don't know. Is Sheamus going to be working with The Shield? I don't know. I don't know. Rey Mysterio. Is he even going to be back in time for WrestleMania? I have no idea. Cody Rhodes. People thought maybe he was going to work with Goldust. I don't think that's going to happen because Cody's been so directionless since they broke up Team Rhodes Scholars. Same thing with Sandow. What's Sandow going to be doing? I guess nothing because he's just a jobber now. God, Kofi, don't know what he's doing. R-Truth, he just came back. I have no idea what he's doing. I'm trying to think. Is there any other major guys that? CM Punk. I don't know what he's going to be doing. He could be put into the world title match as a three-way. He might work with Taker, which is rumored. But if he works with Taker, they haven't done anything to really set that up. So if they do it, it's going to be kind of a rushed build-up. Or what's Lesnar going to be doing? Is he going to be working with Triple H? I don't know yet. If he does, that's boring, but, I've already said my piece on why I'm not a fan of that one, but, whatever, it is what it is. So, yeah, it just feels like this WrestleMania, they don't have a plan, or they haven't really mapped out a course for everybody yet. And it feels like the guys that they have mapped out are Rock and Cena, and if Lesnar Triple H happens, then obviously that match. And if Undertaker comes back, obviously that would have been planned in advance. But it feels like, except for Daniel Bryan and Kane, really, the only ones that they had any kind of a plan for are the part-time guys. And not the guys that they've been promoting for, the better part of a year. And that seems a little backwards, I guess, a little weird that so many of these guys... Miz, that's another one I forgot. What's he doing? Antonio Cesaro, I have no idea what he's doing. Are they going to fight for the U.S. title at Mania? I don't know. I mean, Cesaro's already beat him in title matches twice, but Miz won a no DQ match on Raw, so I don't know. Maybe they'll do that match again at Mania. I have no idea. It's everything is so up in the air at this point. I'm thinking first pay-per-view. Okay, there's no pay-per-view in between now and WrestleMania. I should have a clear picture of what's going on. Chris Jericho, that's another one. I have no idea. Is he going to work with Ziggler? I thought that was what they were going to do, but have they dropped that? I don't know. Is he going to work against The Shield? Which, by the way, I do want to put over that match on Raw. That six-man tag they had on Raw was really cool. And Tyler Black playing Ninja was really... Wait, Tyler Black? Black Ninja? I think I have a gimmick for him if The Shield doesn't exactly pay off, which it looks like The Shield. The best thing about The Shield right now is at least they're keeping them winning and they're building their heat. I like that. There are a few other things creatively I wish they'd do differently and wish they'd define better. But at least they're keeping their heat and actually keeping them winning. So that's a good thing. And, when they do lose, it'll actually be a big deal. Unlike most heels, because they just kind of slip on banana peels all the time. But, yeah, it's really weird that they don't have... It feels like they don't have WrestleMania that well mapped out. It feels like they're going to have to throw something together over the course of 4 or 5 weeks just to have some kind of a card. And I'm thinking, it's WrestleMania. You didn't have a plan for a lot of these guys? Really? I don't know. It's just, oh, well. And it kind of, there's always been that saying that Vince will book ahead a year. And he'll book ahead from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. And I think this year kind of proves no, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case at all. Especially with the world title match. That's the telltale sign right there that, Swagger and Del Rio, okay, we just kind of, that just reeks of something that was cooked up this weekend. Credit to some of the people that posted comments on my video and my subscribers and stuff. I completely missed that Jack Swagger was doing a racist gimmick. It just didn't gel in my brain that he was going to work with Del Rio. I just kind of thought, I guess you're... And a couple of my commenters and subscribers pointed that out on my last video, and I was just kind of like, yeah, you know what? You're right. That does make sense. I didn't even realize that because I'm not even used to having Swagger back yet because, like I said, they didn't exactly plan this out too well. I mean, if they were going to do this, I feel like, well, save it for SummerSlam, It's like build Swagger up over a long period of time and then do that payoff, but this just feels rushed. And, yeah, I don't know. There's so many guys that they don't appear to have a plan for, and it's really kind of sad, really. But hopefully they're able to put together something good for WrestleMania this year, but we shall see. So, yeah, that's all I've got for right now. Showcasing the Immortals Part 2 is coming up very, very soon. I'm actually going to finish filming Part 2 right after I'm done with this one. So, Showcasing the Immortals Part 2 is coming very, very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And until then, enjoy the rest of your week, everybody.